Keeping a tradition alive for generations is no piece of cake, but these timeless desserts have been bringing delight for decades, even centuries, with each one sweeter than the last.
These are pączki, or if it's on its own, it's a pączek. It's a Polish treat made from deep frying dough with a stuffed sugary jam filling. And then it's covered in even more sugary icing. Basically, it's the definition of delicious. Oi! Don't touch! We need to film it first! Warsaw's a vibrant city with a bit of a sweet tooth, and that's where pączki comes in. There are a few spots around the city to get pączki, but no more authentic than here. This tiny bakery has been producing pączki since 1925.
Nazywam się Sylwia Tomaszkiewicz i jestem prawnuczką Władysława Zagoździńskiego.
Sylvia's great-grandfather created the secret family recipe, which still stays strong to this day.
Nasza cukiernia jest znana w Warszawie. Myślę, że jest to związane z tradycją, że jesteśmy przedwojenną cukiernią, która stawia na naturalne składniki, że pączki są ręcznie zawijane, że są smaczne i myślę, że to powoduje, że klienci lubią nas odwiedzać. Każdego dnia staramy się robić około 800 000 pączków, ale zależy to również od imienin, pogody, od ilości klientów, którzy chcą danego dnia zjeść pączka.
And on Fat Thursday, the last Thursday before Lent, boy, do they sell a few more.
Tłusty czwartek sprzedajemy około 8–10 tysięcy.
8 to 10,000?
Tak. Na produkcji mam 2 cukierników, 3 pomoce, którzy zajmują się robieniem pączków. Na sklepie mam 2 ekspedientki, Sylwię i Agnieszkę, które zawijają paczuszki z pączkami i sprzedają klientom. Bardzo ważna jest dla mnie tradycja. Chyba nie potrafię sobie wyobrazić życia bez pączków.
Nor can we, Sylvia. Nor can we.
Guatemala is known for a lot of things. Coffee, avocados, but more than anything else, it should be known for chocolate. This is a place called Chocolat. It's known for rain and fertile soil, which means it's an ideal place to grow cacao, the main ingredient in chocolate. The ancient Maya grew it there 2,500 years ago, and people are still growing it there today.
Mi nombre es Víctor Alfredo Díaz Can. Mi trabajo es cultivar cacao. Crecí acá en Chocolat, trabajando la tierra. Fermentamos el cacao, le damos el punto para que esté listo para el comercio o para ponerlo en los talleres de procesamiento de chocolate. El tiempo que nos lleva el cacao, desde la semilla hasta la producción, es un tiempo largo. Nosotros tomamos nuestra semilla de las pochas, las clasificamos y nos hace un periodo bastante largo de 5 años.
So after the cacao is grown, it's off to the chocolatiers. Brenda is a 4th-generation chocolatier. She makes her chocolate the same way her great-grandmother used to back in the day, and now she's teaching her children to do the same.
Mi nombre es Brenda Elizabeth Oliva Sican y yo hago chocolate artesanal. El punto importante para un buen chocolate va a ser el tostado. Para tostar el cacao, pues qué mucho mejor que hacerlo con fuego de leña, no fuego con estufa de gas, no hornos, no es lo mismo. El sabor que le da el tostado al grano de cacao haciéndolo con leña es distinto. Aquí vienen muchas personas buscando algo diferente y eso es lo que nosotros queremos hacer, darle algo diferente a las personas que no encuentran en su país lo que aquí nosotros les podemos ofrecer.
This is Fernando. He's a newer chocolatier taking a more modern approach to Guatemala's chocolate renaissance.
Este es el cuarto donde la pasta de cacao se transforma en chocolate en estas máquinas. Es un proceso lento y pues, de tener paciencia. Nosotros aquí trabajamos 1 tonelada métrica por mes, o sea, 12 toneladas por año en este cuarto. El chocolate guatemalteco es tan delicioso por el cacao. Hacer chocolate para mí es mi vida hoy en día y es a lo que le dedico la mayor parte de mi tiempo. Las posibilidades en el chocolate no tienen límite.
Creemos que es importante mantener esta tradición viva porque nos hace con mucha historia y el cacao que cultivamos en Guatemala, lo que conocemos que es único en el mundo.
El chocolate es pasión.
El chocolate hace a la gente feliz.
Chocolate es guatemalteco.
Haven't you ever had those times in your life where you just feel all consumed with tasting something again that you haven't had in years and years? That's really what I'm doing here, is bringing back those incredible desserts, those incredible experiences that have gone extinct. I put myself through this process of resurrecting desserts because I truly feel that a good dessert can change the course of your day. I'm Valerie Gordon, owner of Valerie Confections, and I'm also a dessert anthropologist. The way this project of resurrecting historic desserts began was in 2009. The food editor from the Los Angeles Times Magazine asked me to create a Blum's coffee crunch cake for an article that she was doing. And it was this amazing full circle moment because I grew up with that cake. I know that cake and I miss that cake terribly. Blum's was an incredible bakery and cafe in California. There were 8 locations. The last one closed in the 80s. When the article came out, we literally received 125 phone calls from people going, "Oh my God, I want this cake." The desserts that I resurrected to date are, of course, the coffee crunch cake from Blum's. I've brought back the banana shortcake from Chasen's. The brown derby grapefruit cake is another cake that I've resurrected, and now soon to be the coffee fiesta sundae as well. The anthropology of the dessert resurrection is really one of the most interesting parts of all of this. I start the research process at the Central Library. There is a room, and this is a very well-guarded room, called the Menu Vault. There are menus that date back for 150 years. I find that looking at the actual menus is so much more gratifying than just pulling something up online because you're really getting to the heart and soul of the place. You're almost transported into that place at that time by holding something that these people held. You really are. And then I email a bunch of people, or I call a bunch of people who were natives to Los Angeles or whatever city the bakery was in to find out, hey, do you remember this? Do you remember that?
We always used to call this the adult sundae because this is the one my mom would eat.
Can they describe the texture of a whipped cream? Can they tell me whether there was vanilla in it or not?
I'm pretty sure they did one basic recipe for whipped cream and then flavored accordingly. And
right.
It was little kid whipped cream.
One cherry.
Yes.
This is amazing. Like you have been indispensable. I'm not particularly interested in retro. It is about reliving those sense memories. It's sort of like when you hear a song that was your favorite song from 1982, you're really thrown back into that moment. It's become this very emotional, very fulfilling part of my job to bring these cakes back for people.
These little custard tarts, these eggy, sugary treats, are everywhere in Portugal. Here, and here. Some say the pastéis de Belém is the original pastéis de nata, or custard tart. In this little factory, through this kitchen, there's a recipe that has been kept top secret for almost 200 years.
Oh, not this one, guys. You can't get in here, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm Miguel CLARINHA and I'm part of the management of Pastéis de Belém. This special recipe you will only find here at this shop. We sell an average of about 20,000 tarts a day. In the summer, maybe around 40,000 cakes. A lot of cakes.
The pastéis de Belém, as they call them here, are simple tarts really. Egg yolk, milk, some flour, sugar. But it's how they make them, in complete secrecy, that makes these tarts a national treasure.
We have 6 people knowing the recipe. In the family, my father, my cousin, and myself, Miguel CLARINHA. The 3 chefs, which is Vitor Domingos, Eliseu Ramiro, and Carlos Martins.
The recipe is so secret, all the bakers sign non-disclosure agreements to keep the timeless tarts a true mystery.
Pastéis de Belém is one of the earliest recipes, at least here in Lisbon. We know that the recipe was invented in the monastery of Jerónimos in the early 19th century. This one.
Once they have the recipe, the chefs, now sworn to secrecy, are given keys to this door.
They work inside the factory in a separate room that we call the Oficina do Segredo in Portuguese. It's like the secret shop or secret room. They have to work in a separate room because the process can only be seen by them. Till today we haven't found anyone that explained the recipe as it is. If it happened, well, we probably would have to lock him up in the basement and throw away the key. No, just kidding.
Okay, secret keeper. What's the best way to eat one of these custard tarts?
Usually I like it simple, but that's just me. Most people like with a little bit of cinnamon on top. This is the hard part of the job.
Yeah, this is super hard. I don't know how you do it.